One of my absolute favorite businesses in GTA Online has to be CEO Vehicle Cargo. For whatever reason, it's just much more fun than CEO Special Cargo or Bunker Cargo. In this video, I'm going to show you the most efficient way to source and sell these vehicles to make the most amount of money possible. We can source a vehicle either through the Vehicle Cargo warehouse or in the CEO office. It's really up to you. Now, before starting to source, we're going to be requesting a vehicle that's going to help us out a lot. So this is going to be the DH7 Iron Mule. You can also use the Cargo Bob, but the Iron Mule is just a bit more heavy duty, a bit faster overall. The Cargo Bob is a much cheaper option if you don't want to spend a ton of money, but overall the Iron Mule is just a bit better. So what we're going to be doing now is flying our Iron Mule or the Cargo Bob to the top of our CEO office. So we're going to be landing it on the helipad. But just like that, we're just going to safely land it and then go inside the CEO office. There should be a door somewhere on the roof, I think. At this point, we're going to go inside of the CEO office computer and we're hoping to get the top range vehicle. So there's different levels of vehicles you can source. There's standard range, medium range, and top range. It's completely randomized, but you're hoping for top range since it does sell for by far the most amount of money. So vehicle cargo, and then let's go ahead and source vehicle, confirm that, and then we should actually get the level of the vehicle relatively soon. Let's go in the elevators and we're going to go straight to our roof. So make sure you exit to the roof instead of to the ground or something like that, just so we can immediately use the helicopter that we parked at the top of the building. And now it should actually tell us the level of the vehicle. So we have the Reaper, which I want to say is a top range vehicle. Let's go to our text messages real quick. And yes, it is a top range vehicle. Let's freaking go. This is actually a beautiful car. Too fast for you. That's actually a pretty cool license plate as well. So we did get lucky. We got a top range vehicle. Let's go. And at this point, all we're going to do is take the Iron Mule over to the location. Okay, the location is going to be all the way over here. What? This is one of the furthest locations I've gotten, but generally just know you're going to get a closer location than this one. If I remember correctly, this vehicle is actually going to be on a cargo ship. That's why I chose it being on the water. Thank goodness we have a helicopter. Otherwise, it would literally take both a land vehicle and a sea vehicle to go and get this thing. So there's a couple of enemies usually next to the vehicle. They're going to shoot us a little bit, but all we have to do is hook on to the car. There we go. So we got the car. Let's go ahead and lift it up, deliver it back to the vehicle cargo warehouse. Repair cost is 0. We might get some enemies spawning, but they're usually going to be on the ground. Or actually, never mind. We got some helicopters after us. Hopefully we can outpace these helicopters. Looks like the Iron Mule is doing a pretty good job so far, so I'm really happy with this helicopter. Thank goodness. It's technically also saving us money because if we're on the ground with this thing and we can't really outpace the helicopters and NPC vehicles, they definitely would damage the car, and then we're gonna have to spend some money on the repair cost. Easy as that. So Reaper is delivered. At this point, we can go in the computer, and once we go in the computer, we'll actually see the Reaper is in stock, and there's no cooldown time or anything, so we can immediately just go and sell it. Before we do that though, since we did this in a private session, I definitely recommend you do the sourcing in a private session. We're actually going to be selling it in a public session just so we get some more money for the sale. So I recommend finding a public session with at least like 24-25 people so you get the biggest high demand bonus. I'm going to set my spawn location to last location, and then I'll see you guys once I find a populated session. We found a session with 26 people, so this lobby looks pretty good to sell in. So not only do we get a high demand bonus when selling in a public session, so we're going to be making significantly more than just $200,000, but in public session, Rockstar made it where the NPCs that usually laser a vehicle don't spawn in. Since there's already some risk selling in a public session, I mean, look at that Oppressor Mark II, we got a scramjet in there, some guy in dark red, that means he's going on kind of a rampage right now. So this is definitely a bit of a risky session, but feel free to go around all of the chaos in here. I mean, there's another Oppressor right there, there's a Buffalo STX. There's a lot going on in this session, but I do think it's worth it taking the risk as long as you're smart with it. Let's press A or X on PlayStation to log into the computer, export this beautiful Reaper. We're going to be choosing the most expensive option for sure. Make sure you do that every single time. We're going to need to spend $40,000 on customizing the vehicle, but we're going to be making a lot more money during the sell mission, so definitely is worth it doing the most expensive option. It doesn't actually matter what specific options you put on it, it just says some general options. You could actually go and call in the Iron Mule again. It's going to spawn a little bit away from you, and so depending on the session, you might want to use a helicopter just to get away from all of the mayhem, or it's fine to drive to the destination which in my case is in Vinewood Hills, which is not that bad. That's actually pretty freaking close. Oh no, there's a Buffalo STX. Oh my goodness, was he targeting me right there? I don't know if he was, but I'm getting the frick out of here. Just make sure you don't crash. Every single time you crash, you get less of the commission. It's pretty much damage that you have to pay for, so just make sure you're driving somewhat carefully. And again, if this was in a private session, like an invite only, there would be a bunch of NPCs spawning and lasering your vehicle. So I'm actually gonna reach this destination in like under 2 minutes, which is crazy. So super easy. In total, this probably took me like 10 minutes to do. Drive into the yellow circle, and that is the Reaper delivered. So $200,000 plus whatever we get for the high demand bonus, $300,000. So we made a profit of $260,000 in just about 10 minutes of work. Such a good money method, super fun to do, and honestly with the high demand bonus, it's much more worth it to do. Over $250,000 for honestly very little work, and with the Iron Mule / Cargo Bob, it just makes your life way easier. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new to the channel for more awesome videos like these that you don't want to miss, and click the video on screen now to keep watching. I hope you all enjoy that one, and peace.